Right now the world is in a condition where almost every country on the planet is buried under debt. If you add up the value of all global debt, it reaches $324 trillion, which is many times more than the total production of the world. Here's the simple version: the world has borrowed more money than it earns. In fact, there isn't even that much real money in existence compared to the debt that countries and institutions owe. And this debt isn't limited to one nation or one sector. It has spread across the entire world. It's not just governments. Corporations, banks, institutions, and even ordinary people are drowning in debt. The most surprising question is, if the world doesn't even have that much money, how is a $324 trillion debt even possible? Let's break down the financial system. First, understand that the cash we see in the form of notes and coins is only about 5 to 7% of the world's money. The rest exists only on paper, on computer screens, or as entries in bank accounts. When a bank gives a loan, it doesn't hand out cash from its own vault. It simply creates a number on a screen. And that number becomes a loan. This is called credit creation. That's how debt can be expanded on paper without any limit. That's why global debt is far greater than all the actual currency that has ever been printed. For example, the U.S. Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, has the authority to print dollars whenever it wants. Japan, Venezuela, China, and in Europe, the European Central Bank all print their own currencies. This entire process is called printing money or expanding the money supply. What this really means is that the debt is created on the basis of future earnings, not existing wealth. An ordinary person would think this is magic. Imagine a country that earns just $1 but borrows 20. Where do those extra dollars come from? They were never printed anywhere. Banks simply created them on paper. A loan is basically another form of printing money. Now here's the question: if debt can be created so easily, why doesn't it solve the world's problems? The answer is interest. Interest is a burden that never goes away. Even the newly created money carries interest. That's why debt always grows faster than actual income. Even if all governments and corporations decide to pay back their loans together, it won't be possible. Because interest isn't paid with real printed wealth. It's paid by taking on more debt. And this cycle never stops. This system survives because people and governments around the world believe in it. And since the dollar is the most powerful currency, the rest of the world trusts it. The US prints paper, and the rest of the world exchanges real value for that paper. That's why experts say today's economic system is actually one huge bubble powered by debt. Now imagine the world's total GDP is around $100 trillion, but total debt is $324 trillion. How will the gap be closed? The truth is, it never will. It'll only keep growing because the system is designed to increase debt automatically. As interest adds up, more borrowing becomes necessary, and the cycle goes on forever. That's why economists call the modern world a debt trap. And this trap won't break until the entire system collapses in some major crisis. History has seen many disasters like the 1929 Great Depression or the 2008 financial crash. But experts warn that the next crisis could be the biggest one yet, because this time the debt is not limited to a few countries. It belongs to the entire world. To put it simply, global debt is just numbers on computer screens. It's not real gold or silver. It's a promise that someday the money will be paid back. But the reality is, that money never existed in the first place. Where did all this begin? It started after World War II, when the world's resources were destroyed and countries needed capital to rebuild. In 1944, in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, a historic agreement was formed that shaped the modern global financial system. Under this agreement, the IMF and World Bank were created to help countries recover from crises and start development projects. But over time, debt stopped being support and turned into a burden. Today the situation is such that the US alone has more than $34 trillion in debt, more than its entire GDP. Japan is the second most indebted country, with debt 2.5 times its GDP. Even if Japan spent every single penny on debt repayment, it still wouldn't be enough. Major European countries like Italy, France, and Spain are also weighed down by massive debt. In Latin America, Brazil and Argentina frequently seek debt restructuring. Most African nations spend half their budgets just paying interest, without even touching the principal amount. According to analysts, debt has become the biggest geopolitical weapon of our time. And in the future, this burden will become even more dangerous. Global financial institutions warn that if current trends continue, global debt could cross $400 trillion in a few years. If major economies like the US and Japan struggle with repayments, the global economy could face collapse. The big question is, how will this game end? Will the world ever be free from debt? Under the current system, the answer is no, because the economy needs constant borrowing to keep moving. If borrowing stops, development halts, economies fall, debt has become a web that no one can escape. And this entire scenario tells us one thing clearly: the global economy is heading toward a major collapse. Debt is no longer a tool it's a burden that will affect not just countries but millions of ordinary people. The only question now is, when will this bubble burst?